Hello, fearless females. I am so excited. Today's Tuesday tip is get yourself a coach. And today my guest is Jenny. Jenny Salinas. She is an amazing fearless female. She has not only been on my podcast sharing her story with JRA, but she has also just finished a 90-day run with me. It was called the Dream Team. We did 90 days on learning how to manifest your wildest dreams. And Jenny is here to talk about not only her experience and what she's learned throughout her journey as a woman, as a fearless female, but also now she has discovered this whole new side of coaching and self-help and really discovering herself more than she thought. She thought she had it all figured out, but just when we think we have it all figured out, it's like the cosmic joke, right, Jenny? We don't
Yes.
have it figured out. All right, Jenny, so let's talk about your experience. So first of all, how did you love the manifestation challenge?
Oh, I loved it so much. So, keeping in mind, there's always more to learn. When you think you know something, as Paola was saying, you learn something like, oh wow, I didn't know that. So, that's something that I wanted to pick up. So this summer, I I just decided that I wanted to make a change. I wanted to make a shift in my life. I wanted to make it better. I wanted to level up, and just like that, I said that out loud. And then I got an email from Paola who's asking me to join her manifest law of attraction. And I had known about the law of attraction before, but I had my own ideas about it, right? But I wanted to know more. And I really admire Paola and I really trust her because that's important that you know someone that you trust. And I decided to go ahead and do the webinar with her. And then I had questions. And then I was like, yeah, let me just sign up. Let me do it. Let me invest in myself and let me do it. And we started out with weekly. Well, we did a weekly Zoom with three other fantastic women. And we wrote down our 30, 60, 90 goals of what we wanted. And I guess the very first important thing that I learned was be specific on what you want. I think a lot of us tend to, we have this voice in our head, and sometimes it's not ours. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not ours. It's like, this is what you should have at age 30. This is what you should have at age 40. This is how you should be. This is how you should live. This is what you should have, right? And so you always try to get to those levels, but really think about it. Is that really what you want? Because in my life, my life has not gone the way I wanted it to necessarily go, or the way I thought it was going to go. I've been adapting and adjusting my whole life.
Mhm.
So when COVID hit this year, I just slightly, made us a kink, just like a slight kink. And I was empathetic to the whole world when this happened. But I've been adjusting um, to ways of living and my whole life. So it was really good to have a coach with you and to be in a group with other women who were also thinking and feeling what you're thinking and feeling, because sometimes you do think I'm the only one who thinks that blah blah blah, right?
Yes.
When you hear it from other people, you're like, oh, and again, it makes you feel less alone, right?
Mhm.
um Another good thing that I really learned, and I've been practicing every day, is one time during our class, Paola said, what is your our homework was, what is your daily routine, what are your habits? And I really had to look at that, because I really don't have any bad habits, but they're just kind of plain, like they're not pushing me forward. They're just kind of um doing what I want to do, which is great, reading books and making good, healthy food and learning a new recipe and taking a class in Braille. And those are all great things. But what about that is helping me move forward? And what about my habits and my routine are good?
Yeah.
And which ones are not necessarily good,
Mhm.
And I I really love that we had to really look at our habits and our routines, because it really made me look at what exactly am I doing on the daily
Yes.
that is helping me go forward.
I love that you mentioned that the group setting really helped you to realize
Yeah.
that you're not the only one having these doubts or having these blocks, or you're not the only one feeling as if you missed the mile marker. I love that you mentioned earlier that, society, marketing, how things have been done in the past has told you, oh, you have to hit this mile marker by the age of 30
Yeah.
if you're not married, or if you don't have kids, or if you haven't graduated from college, or if you don't have the house, if you don't have the
Mhm.
car, if you haven't traveled. You start to doubt yourself. You start to think like, well, then what's wrong with me? Why didn't I get married? Or why didn't I have kids? Or why haven't I like hit
Yeah.
these milestones? And so then the shame,
Yeah.
guilt, and the judgment starts to creep in. And when you're alone, it's hard for
Hmm.
you to get past those blocks, past those mind
Yeah.
blocks. So it's
Yeah.
really, really good to have a coach to help
Hmm.
you understand that A, you're not the only person having these doubts, and
Yeah.
B, there are ways to get past it.
Yeah, absolutely. Payola gives you tools and homework that you really like. I was a really good student. So if you're investing in this, you're investing in yourself and you really want to put that work forward. And I mean, like, you really want to hit it head on because you do want to improve and learn. And that's why you signed up. That's the ultimate goal. And I remember one day, and she sends out like videos and things like, listen to this guy or listen to this book or, um, and so I think it was one book on YouTube that you told me, and I forgot if it was Wayne Dyer. I think it was,
Yeah.
but it may have been Michael Singer. But I was listening to him, and one thing that I really got this time around, because sometimes you hear something in the past from other people, other leaders and stuff, and it kind of just passes you. You're like, yeah, I've heard that or whatever. And sometimes when you hear it again for the sixth time or something, it like it gets in your bones, it gets in your brain, and you're like, I got it now. When you really have it. And he was talking about ego, and of course, my idea of ego is like people who think they're all that, right? Well, he's talking about this self, how how do we get approval? How do we feel good about ourselves? And a lot of my approval, a lot of my good feelings were coming from outside, you see. They were coming from other people telling me, you're good. And like a great example is like social media, like how many like be honest, like do you look at how many likes you get, how many comments? I mean, I did, and
Yeah.
that's about feeling significant or whatever. And so when he's talked about letting go of that, because you're okay, you're all right, you're okay, and you're enough. And he said it just that one time, just the way I heard it, and I was like, oh, you get it. You're like, I I am okay. I'm a good person. I'm
I'm enough.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
And so I quickly um texted Paola because I was like, I need to tell her that I got this midway through um the 90 days run, and this was worth every penny that I spent. And I feel like I should have spent more money because this whole summer, we started in the summer through early November, and that was a big chunk of COVID, the pandemic and staying at home and stuff. And it was a great opportunity to do self development and to work on yourself. And this that thing that I got that day, that nugget that really stuck with me, I think about it a lot, and I don't necessarily need all the outside stuff
Yeah.
anymore. I don't need that approval. Like, I'm trying to get it within myself. I'm trying to get it here. And I just encourage everyone, if you want to make a change in your life, you're like, there's something that I really want to work on. Like, why can't I? Like, I'm running on this, I'm getting on this block, right? I'm getting on this block. What can I do? And something has led you to this Facebook, this like it's come in your social media for a reason. You clicked on it, you listened to this, and I hope that it really resonates with you and you make a change and you want to run with us again, because I'm going to start again in January with Paola, and I'm going to be there. And I struggle, I'm not like all with it.
Yeah.
And I think the number one thing that um Paola taught us is, you have to change your physiology, and I didn't really get that, because I tend to lean towards the bad ones, the bad feelings, sadness, depression, anger, frustration. And Paola was like, no, Jenny, you want to live on peace, love, and joy. Because if you do that,
Yes.
you will get more of it. And I
Yes.
was like, well, I want more of that. Who wants more sadness, depression, stress, anxiety? Like, who wants that? No, I want more peace, love, and joy.
Yes.
And even when you get a bad news or something bad happens, yes, you're going to have a reaction of that because you're human, but you can flip it. Like, I've been flipping it this whole time. Like, I did get some bad news a couple of weeks ago at doctor's office. I did have my reaction. I'm human. You know, I had some disappointment. I had some reaction, but then I went out into the lobby and I got my ride, and I flipped it because I don't want to vibrate. I don't want to get more sadness and depression, because those I tend to, and most people, by the way, this is most people, this isn't just me, like most people tend to vibrate towards sadness and depression. And so I just put on a comedy, as Paola said one time to us. um, Laugh, dance, get up and move and dance. And I love to dance and I love music, and the dance kind of music, Justin Timberlake and Rihanna and all that. And I love a good comedy. I love to laugh. Who doesn't love to laugh? And
Yeah.
so you can, okay, you can make a choice, and it's always a choice, isn't it? It's always a choice. You can lie in your bed back here. I I've lied in that bed so many times, but you get up and you gotta change. You gotta change, as Paola says, you gotta vibrate on peace, love, and joy. You gotta get up and move your body, and
Yes.
then that changes your physiology, and it works.
Absolutely. I love that you mentioned that. But honestly, like the reason why it's so hard for people to vibrate in peace, love, and joy is because they don't have the tools. They don't know
Yes.
what to do. They don't have like the little tricks and tips. And so here I am. I've collected the tricks and tips from all the different people that I've studied under, like Tony
Wow.
Robbins, Gabrielle Bernstein, Jack Canfield. I have read the books. I have gone to the conferences. I am bringing you back these tips and tricks
Yes.
from these conferences that are expensive to go to. And
Yeah.
I'm doing it so that you can take these nuggets of wisdom, like from the comfort of your own home. You get to do the homework, you get to be surrounded by other like minded, fearless females, and you get to just really blossom. And honestly, I've been doing this now for over a year. The women that have run with me since January of 2020, I've seen them blossom into these wonderful,
Wow.
magnificent women, and you included. And every time I get these aha moments and these aha text messages and voicemails, like, oh my God, Pale, I didn't know, I didn't see this, and now I'm going to live this.
Wow.
It's really just
Yeah.
why I do this. It's why I went into coaching. I want to help more women change their life, because I too was down that rabbit hole of depression and sadness and stress and anxiety. I lived there for so
Yeah.
many years. And you, like you said, it's really easy to go down that road. It takes a lot of work to take the other road. And so if you're looking for a coach, if you're looking to start your spiritual journey, we are going to open up the doors for the Fearless Female 90-day run. It starts in January. We're going to hit the ground running 90 days. Jenny's going to be there. So I will put the link down below if you're going to say, I'm interested, I'm ready to run with you. Do hashtag I'm ready to run, hashtag I'm interested, hashtag 90 days, here I come, starting January.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you again,
Yes.
Jenny, for your testimonial. I
You're
truly
welcome.
appreciate it. And I can't wait for you to run with me in January. And for whoever else is
Yeah.
interested, join us. It's going to be a
Come,
blast.
come join us. Run with us. We'll be there with you, for you. Yay.
Exactly. Thank you, Jenny.